Welcome back to my YouTube channel for May. This video, as you can probably tell from the title, I'm going to be channeling any messages for May that we may need to know for our highest and best. I will be channeling my higher self for this reading. And also, I asked my higher self and used my pendulum to pick which card deck to use for May's reading. And this one came up, interestingly, because I don't think I've pulled cards from this deck in many years. It's not a deck I commonly use. You'll also probably notice guitars in the background. I haven't quite hung them up yet. Yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, with these cards, I pulled 4 cards. There are 3 numbers with these cards. There are 3s, 9s, and 1s. And there are 2 3s, 2 9s, and 2 1s. So, if you've been seeing 3s, 9s, or 1s, any order of that sequence, then this message is probably for you. It's just confirmation for you. Even if you see those, if you haven't seen those numbers, you're hearing of them now, you might see them later on. And I'd pay attention to what you're thinking about, what you're doing. Yeah, mainly what you're thinking about at the time, what you're talking about at the time if you're talking, or what you're doing or where you're going, because those are kind of confirmation signs for you. And you'll know if it's like a yes confirmation sign or like a no confirmation sign. So 1s, 3s, and 9s, and I'll explain what those numbers mean in terms of numerology and in terms of how I perceive them. 1s are very ones are in alignment, 1s are beginnings. They're also tied to 9s because the 1 and the 9 energy kind of bounce off each other in terms of endings and new beginnings, like very phoenix-like energy. And so because you have the 9s and the 1s together, I would say it is a rebirth. It's time for a rebirth, or you're going through that, dark night of the soul, tower moment, something like that. And I feel like whenever I do these readings, the messages are always very dramatic, but that's just kind of what comes through. And 3s are really about communication, collaboration, celebration as well. So celebration in community, with friends, people that you feel safe with as well. So it's also communication, collaboration with those people or anyone new coming into your life as well. But that's really the 3 energy. And as I'm recording this today, it's actually May 1st, which is the full moon in Scorpio, which is really cool. And I love the full moons because it's a great day for like a reset or to release any energies or cords that we want to get rid of or move on from. It's a great potent time to do that. The energy is ready for that. So you can certainly do any new moon rituals, and this is coming out May 2nd, but you can still feed off the new moon energy within a few days, give or take, around it. So certainly play with that, but you can also do little rituals or ceremonies at any time of the month. It doesn't have to be on the full moon. So we've got moth spirit, armadillo, dog, and ant spirit. These are the animals that wanted to come through today. And if that resonates with anyone, please let me know in the comment section down below if the numbers resonate or any of the beings that are coming through resonate with you. If you've seen them, if you heard of them recently or seen them recently on social media or in real life or anything like that, definitely let me know, because I'd be curious to see if that actually resonates with anybody. So what they're really saying is, with the surrender piece, it's more of like whatever's going on in your life right now, if it feels chaotic, if it feels like there's a lot going on, there's no clarity, or maybe there is clarity, or maybe there, like, you know what to do, or the clarity already came in maybe, and it's surrendering to life in general. It's releasing the control. It's taking your control back by releasing the control. And I know that might feel or seem counterintuitive, but you gain more control by releasing control, if that makes sense. So the control, where we perceive control as a human in this life, is literally controlling every single thing that happens in our life and being in charge of it, because it's safer to feel that way. It feels safer to control the day-to-day life or your trajectory or every single area of your life. It feels safer to be in charge of it. And it's okay to surrender to that. Surrender that. To take a moment to breathe and just let it go. And sit with that. And sit with how that makes you feel. I would sit with how that makes you feel. I would sit with what control means for you. This has been one of my main lessons in this lifetime, is releasing control. Learning about control, learning about how other people perceive control, learning about how the darker energies perceive control, learning about how the lighter, more loving energies perceive control, and then my own version of what that means and how it's made me feel safe because of different past lives and different things that I've been through in this lifetime and other lifetimes, upper realms, lower realms. And I've had to take a step back and redefine what control meant. And how am I going to move forward in a way that's going to set me up for peace? Because the version of control that we understand as humans, I believe, does not give us peace. It's chaotic. And it's stressful. And it causes all kinds of different issues like anxiety, and the list will go on. And so I feel like for May, that's one of the biggest messages, is releasing control. And what does that mean? Right? And so I can't tell you what that means for you, right? They're saying, journal, what does this mean for you? And sit with different perspectives and kind of play with it. It's malleable. Nothing is ever set in stone, right? We get to create and mold different templates, different structures, relationships, our life. We fit into templates in every single area of our life. We just follow what everybody else does. We've been doing that. It's survival. That's how we survive as humans, right? That's how we survived. But we no longer have to do that. And we can create our own templates of what anything looks like in our life. And I feel like that's becoming more abundantly clear now more than ever, of recreating what everything looks like. And I mean also in your personal life. I'm not really talking large scale. I'm talking about in your personal life. Every little thing. And it can be so obvious. It's really looking at your life and it's like, well, what's going to cause me the most joy? And you could look at that question and think, oh, well, I kind of like this structure better, but I never thought of that before because I've been plugging into this template of the way that we operate. For an example, I know it's really vague. For example, okay, so your morning routine. If you like specific things in the morning that is not common, like an example, hot take example, okay? A lot of people like breakfast for dinner or dinner for breakfast, okay? And if that works for you, and that's going to cause you joy, and it works for your body and all that, then do that, right? I'm just talking small examples like that. Or if you you like flipping your routines, or you like different structure than what normal is, it's doing that. It's doing that thing. So it feels like May is really changing up the structures. It's switching things up on people. And saying mess around and find out, that's kind of the vibe. Find out. And releasing control in that, and really just kind of allowing your body and your energy and your life to just flow more. To just kind of breathe. And it's interesting because, I talk a lot about authentic truth and living authentically, and there has been things, I always say that because I know that there's going to be things that come up that I didn't realize is my authenticity, is my authentic truth, that I've been ignoring and haven't been sharing, right? And that's come up recently for me. So it's also playing with the fact that we don't know everything, but we can sit with, hey, this is my authentic truth, and I'm living from truth, and I'm anchoring into truth, and to just keep living by how you want to live, and things will show up. Things will just keep showing up for you in alignment with your highest and best. Being loyal to what you love, right? So this is the dog spirit. And the dog is wearing a little crown. It's really cute, and a little jewel. With this is honoring your energy. It's honoring your queendom or your kingdom, or however you'd like to say that. But it's honoring you. And be loyal to what you love is like being loyal to yourself. Truly, is what that means. Because to what you love, if you're not being loyal to what you love, it's not showing as much love to yourself. And so being loyal to, like, honoring your boundaries, because Armadillo Spirit is talking about boundaries, right? So it's honoring what you love and setting your boundaries with that, right? And boundaries are all about you. They're not about other people. They're not about, again, it's not about controlling other people. Because if we're looking at boundaries in terms of, I need to control how other people interact with me, that's not what that is, because we're releasing control. We cannot control other people. Same as we have free will, they have free will. Okay, so it's up to you to set up your boundaries within yourself, with yourself, and honoring that, right? So it's like how you interact with people, what kind of conversations you have, what kind of conversations you walk away from. That is how you stay within your boundaries. Because if we can't control what other people say or do, like, say for example, your boundary is, I don't like talking about this topic, and someone's talking about this topic, we can, if it's our friends and safety and our loved ones, we can just be like, oh, I prefer to change topics, or I can't really talk about this, and they're having conversation, someone else is having conversation with them about it, we can walk away. And that's fine. That doesn't need to be any ill will. Doesn't need to be a dramatic or a big deal at all. It's like, okay, I'm going to step away for a moment while you guys are having that discussion. I prefer not to be a part of it, but like, there's no hard feelings, right? It just is what it is. You can step away. Or for example, if someone's watching, like, I'm kind of sharing my own boundaries here because that's what I do. And I tell people, like, hey, like, if we're talking about anything specific that I don't want to talk about, like, hey, like, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, or I can't really discuss this, and there's two people, like, they want to engage in that conversation, I leave with love. Or if somebody's putting on a movie, just be like, hey, I can't watch any movies that are X, Y, and Z, but they still put on, like, I leave. Right? So it's like, if we want to watch a movie together, these are the perimeters of what I will watch, and these are perimeters of what I won't watch. And I can't control what other people do. I can only control what I do. So that's what I mean when I talk about boundaries. I hope that makes sense. It's really about our reaction and how we respect ourselves and love ourselves. Right? So it's being loyal to yourself. You are the only person who is responsible for being loyal to yourself. You're the only person. Nobody owes us anything, is what I mean at the end of the day. We owe ourselves the respect and responsibility to honor ourselves and be loyal to ourselves. In that way, like, we create that. We create our own reality, how we want to live and interact with people, we create that. So they wanted to share that message for May, in case that comes up. And there's puzzle pieces with Ant Spirit, and I didn't read the message on it until right now, but we'll get to that in a second. But the puzzle pieces is what I noticed first, and it feels like through all of this, puzzle pieces will be coming together. It feels like more towards the end of May, is kind of what it feels like, but that might be for specific people out there, because this is a collective reading. And what I will say with readings as well, of course, with all of my readings or any content you consume, you're responsible for what you take and what you leave behind. So whatever resonates, great. Whatever doesn't resonate, just leave. So just take what resonates, leave what doesn't, all good. So yeah, it feels like the puzzle pieces are really going to be coming together through you honoring your truth, through you honoring your boundaries, your loyalty to yourself, and all of that's really going to be coming together in May. And it feels like some puzzle pieces are going to be coming together. Whatever that looks like or means for you, whatever you have been intending, looking forward to, working on, taking action on. It doesn't need to be anything physical. It could be yourself, could be in your life, could be in relationships, could be at work, could be a project. Anything really going on in your life feels like there's going to be some puzzle pieces coming together. And the message that Ant Spirit has to share is it's time to collaborate, which is really interesting because, as I mentioned with the number three is all about collaboration. Collaboration, communication with others, and celebration with others. So it's all about working with other people. And that this whole message is really tying together of like learning about yourself, learning about your loyalty to yourself, your love to yourself, how your relationship with control, your relationship with boundaries and what your boundaries are, and how you expect to show up as yourself and authentic truth and honor yourself is going to teach you a lot. And then we collaborate with others, if that makes sense. So it's like doing a lot of the personal work, doing a lot of the personal shadow work, and then walking into a project, a relationship, something in collaboration with others. And that's like kind of our baseline or our set point, resetting the set point, and then moving into the collaboration with others, whatever that's going to look like for you. So that's really interesting. And there's no 3 on this card, it's a 1. So looks like some new beginnings are coming in, and alignment as well. Feels like alignment. Also looks like there's a little moon. Like, to me that looks like a moon. And the ants are opposite, so kind of reminds me of twin flame. But I know that there is I've heard a lot of misconception of what twin flame is, and what I believe a twin flame is, and I feel like that's a whole other video. I may have explained that before on my channel, but so this message feels complete for today, and I'm very excited for the month of May. I feel like there's a lot to say. I have a lot of plans. I feel like I always have a lot of plans, and the year is going to pick up, I guess, is what I'll say. The year is definitely going to pick up, and I'm very, very excited. Me and my sister are planning a really big trip for the end of summer, which I will be vlogging and posting about, so that is very exciting for some fall content and some cool, fun stuff this year. This year, I feel like I felt the energy and I felt the momentum of, like, for 2026 of like, oh, it's going to be the fire horse year, it's really kicking off. But it feels like all of the background stuff, all of behind the scenes stuff needed to happen first in order for the fire horse to be really seen to take off running. That's kind of how it feels, and it feels like May is more going to be the month to pick up. So if that resonates with anyone else, let me know, because I've been doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff, a lot of work for the last 4 months, and it's finally picking up and coming alive. So I'm very, very excited. One of those projects is my Patreon. So if you would like to check that out, I'm going to leave the link down below. I have 2 memberships in there. Psychic Foundations, which has my chakra therapy course and psychic development course, which are the exact steps that I went through in my psychic development journey, my healing journey from chronic migraines, chronic illness, and a lot of spiritual shadow work, past life regression stuff. Those are the exact steps I went through. And then I have another membership that is called Advanced Psychics, where I share a lot of different advanced spiritual concepts that I kind of will talk about that I learnt over time, and also paranormal content. So a lot of paranormal concepts, a lot of theories that I have about the paranormal, and that membership will just continue to grow and grow and grow, because I'm going to share channels messages, channels content, like psychic channeled content, and I would love to have live calls eventually. So really exciting stuff. I leave the links down below if you want to check it out. Share with friends, whoever you feel might be interested in that. I'm also hosting a live in-person event for the new moon in Gemini if you are in the province of Ontario. I will leave the link down below as well to come check it out. That will be June 14th. So very fun and exciting. I love live events. I'm going to be doing more of them. I would love to do virtual events as well eventually, but this is what I have going on so far. So please check it out. I leave my Instagram down below, a lot of content and updates on Instagram, so definitely give me a follow. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I look forward to the next video, and hope you have a great weekend, a great May, and we'll chat soon. Bye.